goal through this community awareness project is to raise awareness of helmet use while riding a bike. Did you know a bike accident can cause an individual to have secondary damage such as strokes, seizures, comas, hemorrhage, swelling, increased intracranial pressure, and even death?
Did you know in 2010 there were 515,000 sustained bicycle-related injuries that required emergency department care?
Did you know in 2010, 26,000 individuals obtained a traumatic brain injury by not wearing a helmet during a bicycle accident?
Did you know that only 21 states have any laws regarding helmet use when riding a bike?
Did you know in 2013, 23% of cyclists were drunk and not wearing a helmet?
Did you know a bike accident can cause an individual to have secondary damage such as strokes, seizures, comas, hemorrhage, swelling, increased intracranial pressure, and even death?
A traumatic brain injury, or TBI, is an acquired injury. It's caused by an external force to the head. A violent blow or jolt to the head can result in a closed head injury, while an open head injury is when an object penetrates the skull and damages brain tissue. There are a wide range of consequences related with a TBI. Risky activities can lead to a TBI. One of the riskiest is riding bicycles. People all around the world and the United States use the bicycle for transportation or are involved with some type of cycling. The different types are recreational use, road track, such as those who compete in competitive riding, mountain biking, and bicycle motocross, or also known as BMX.
Hey Chrissy, where are you going?
Oh, I'm getting ready to ride home on my bicycle.
Where's your helmet?
Oh, I don't want to mess up my hair.
Well here, let me give you this brochure on the needs for helmet safety. Did you know that 2.3% of all 2013 traffic fatalities were deaths from riding a bicycle?
No way!
And for those who survived the bike crash, 74% of these individuals then sustained a head injury.
No way!
Wearing a helmet could reduce these head injury risks by 85%.
I think I need to get a helmet.
In this clip, I'd like to point out some of the potential risks a cyclist typically faces. The cyclist is sitting high above the ground. He is traveling at high speeds on hard pavement with the sun shining in his eyes. There is a high volume of traffic, narrow streets, and people are everywhere. Fortunately, he is very attentive to his surroundings, but we can't see if he is wearing a helmet or not.
Welcome to News Hour and Coffee Time with Chrissy and Jolie. We're now going to tell you some bicycle safety facts related to North Carolina. In 2001, the Child Bicycle Safety Act was passed in North Carolina. This act requires any person under the age of 16 to wear an approved bicycle helmet when riding on public roads, public bicycle paths, and other public right-of-ways. The purpose of this act was to reduce the number of head-related injuries and deaths from bicycle accidents. The following studies show the importance of wearing helmets to reduce the number of head-related injuries and deaths from bicycle crashes.
A recent observational study of injured bicyclists who presented to a Level 1 trauma center within 24 hours of their accident tested the severity of everybody's injury with the Glasgow Coma Scale and the Injury Severity Scale. There was a total of 699 patients in the study. Of those, only 273 were wearing helmets when injured. Results showed that those who were wearing helmets were more likely to have a Glasgow Coma Scale rating of 15 and also underwent fewer CT scans. They were also less likely to sustain intracranial injuries such as subdural hematoma and skull fracture. The study shows that helmeted riders were 72% less likely to experience TBI than unhelmeted cyclists. Due to the overwhelming evidence of helmet protection from TBI, the author suggests that it may be necessary to revisit the current laws regarding the use of helmet safety. A general statistic shows that helmets prevent 60% of head injury deaths and reduce the overall risk of head injuries by 85%.
As we mentioned, bicycle helmet laws vary from state to state. For example, no state in the country has mandatory helmet laws covering all ages. 21 states have laws that cover children under a certain age, ranging from 11 to 17 years, depending on the state. The remaining 29 states, however, have no statewide laws regarding bicycle helmet requirements. The question, however, of mandatory helmet laws opens up a somewhat contentious debate. On the one hand, numerous studies show that traumatic brain injuries do decrease with helmet use. However, several studies from America, as well as other countries where mandatory laws were implemented, have shown that the decrease in TBI is accompanied by a decrease in ridership. An example from Australia, where a mandatory helmet law covering all bike riders found that while the number of people admitted to the emergency room for a head injury fell by 48%, surveys in the same area suggested that 36% fewer children and 44% fewer adults were riding their bikes during the same period. This is why we feel that a better way to promote helmet use is to educate and inform people about the importance of wearing a helmet, rather than forcing it on them.
Wondering who is most at risk for obtaining a TBI while riding a bicycle? Those greatest at risk for head injury are males, specifically those 20 years or older. Since the mid-70s, the number of fatalities in males under the age of 20 has fallen drastically from an all-time high of 650 in 1975. In that same time, however, the number of men over the age of 20 killed in the bike accidents has almost tripled.
In our community awareness project, we are going to target high traffic areas where cyclists most likely are going to be, such as a bike stand. We are going to hand out these informational brochures that contain statistics and informational facts about helmet safety. And we will also have conversation with them to ensure the message is clear. Hi. Think about it, okay? There's lots of helmet stores and bike stores and stuff that you could buy a helmet for relatively cheap.
According to state law, there are safe and unsafe places to ride your bike. On the university campus, we have a bike lane. We will demonstrate for you how to ride in the bike lane. We will not demonstrate for you how to unsafely ride a bike. Look look at her go in the bike lane. Safety first.
In addition to using a helmet every time you bike, day or night, you should also have some other features, such as a headlight that you can clip onto the front of your bike like this, and a back red flashing light that you can put on a backpack. In our brochure, there's a section about how to properly wear a helmet to protect your head. I'm going to demonstrate this now. Hi.
Hi.
So, when you wear a helmet, it should be worn low, just above the eyebrows, not like this on the back of your head. The chin strap should fit snugly underneath the chin. So, this is too much space right now. You want to adjust it like so. Does that feel snug?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Additionally, some helmets have a feature on the back that can make it tighter around the head. You should be able to put 2 fingers between the chin strap and the person's chin. Other things is that you should never ride in a car without a seatbelt. So don't get on your bike without a helmet. And it's suggested that you replace your helmet at least once every 5 years.
So let's discuss some pros and cons of wearing a bicycle helmet to protect your head. Some pros: it decreases the risk of head injury and the consequences that will come from that. Not suffering irreparable damage to the only brain you have would be one of those. It significantly reduces hospital costs in the event of an injury or accident. Some cons: some might feel like it's uncomfortable, but actually a good, properly fit helmet should sit comfortably on your head, or maybe that it makes your head hot, but most modern helmets have excellent ventilation. Some people might say it's going to mess up my hair, but really it's better that your hair be messed up than the only brain that you have. Some might say helmets just aren't cool. Well, probably not, but definitely worth protecting your mind and your brain.
Another common excuse people use for why they don't wear helmets is this idea of it can't happen to me. And people often feel like they're either too careful or too good at what they do. The truth of the matter is, accidents can happen to anyone, regardless of one's level of skill or how focused they are on the activity. Take the example of T.J. Levine. In October of 2010, Levine was riding at an event in Las Vegas, an event that was to be his last before he retired from bicycle motocross, or BMX. In a jump that he had probably practiced numerous times before, Levine's bike got out from under him and he was not able to recover before crashing to the dirt ground below. Levine was rushed to the hospital where severe bleeding in his brain prompted his doctors to put him into a medically induced coma. This step is one taken by doctors to give the patient time to rest. This helps to also reduce swelling and decrease the likelihood of further damage or injury. 2 days later, doctors were able to take Levine off sedation after the swelling in his brain had gone down sufficiently enough. He went on to make a full recovery. Levine has been a longtime advocate for helmet use in the BMX sport, and that helmet is largely credited with saving his life. He's gone on to host several TV shows on MTV and to star in his own PSAs about the importance of helmet use. Levine is but one example of a high-profile star, a talented, well-practiced professional who nevertheless was badly injured in his sport. Other wheeled athletes include Steve McCann, James Shepard, and Sarah Walker, all stars of BMX, and Adam Taylor of skateboarding fame, have all suffered head injuries while taking part in the sports that made them famous. The idea being that if it can happen to them, it can happen to anyone.
In conclusion, recovery from TBI is not always complete and can impact social, professional, and educational prospects for the rest of your life.
Remember, during all wheeled activity, wear a helmet. This is an example of unsafe blading.